You guys, happy Thursday. There is so much going on in the world. It looks as though the first phase of the Epstein files have been released. And to be honest, it doesn't really look like much, like a nothing burger. Also, remember Ari Emanuel, WME exec CEO, who came out to defend Blake and Ryan against Justin Baldoni, Bologna, whatever his name is? You know, Ari, the preschool rhyming tough guy in Hollywood, too cool to learn his clients' names. Well, now Freakonomics is saying, they were the ones that hosted him when he said this, that the footage, the video footage of this has been lost. So we will never be able to see that interview. Yeah, right. But first, and before we also discuss the Tate brothers, they just landed on American soil and people are up in arms. I first want to tell you guys that I got the legal clearance to speak to you about my prison phone call with Harvey Weinstein and what brought me to do this series. And so I'm so excited. So let's jump right back in. Welcome back to Candace. Also, sorry we're 30 minutes late. I've actually done 4 hours of media today, so I have said a lot of words. Okay, so where do we begin with this? My husband, obviously, you guys know, he is the entire brains behind the production, and part of his job as my spouse is to keep me out of trouble, you know, make sure that I file my taxes against my better instincts, and also to make sure that if I sign a contract, I remember that I signed a contract and I don't just blurt out everything to you guys as I do, because I just feel like I'm talking on the phone and I sometimes say way too much. So last week I was telling you I was really excited to announce the next series, but there were a couple of legal hurdles that my husband was dealing with. And I can now tell you that that legal hurdle was that when I had first begun speaking with Harvey Weinstein, we had signed this limited NDA that I had completely forgotten about. And we had to go through some effort to have that NDA, to have me released from that NDA so that I could speak about the topic without me being risked, a risk of being sued. Again, all my husband's headaches, but I'm excited to tell you about that first phone call, because you're probably all wondering how did Candace Owens end up speaking with Harvey Weinstein? As I said to you guys, we have had and still have really nothing in common. It is really stunning. Truly stunning. And I think actually one of the more compelling things about he and I coming together on anything. So the story actually begins in November of 2022. Like, that is how deep I am on this. And now that you know how I am in terms of organizing like a psychopath and looking at timelines and really deeply researching things so that the public can be invited to do the same, you can only imagine if I've had the runway since 2022 to do this. November of 2022 is when I was contacted by a third party, to my shock and surprise, and they asked me if I would just take a look at the Harvey case and if I would maybe be interested in interviewing him. And to be clear, this is back when Harvey Weinstein was in Los Angeles, because he was